I am not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. That is said by this man, Colin Kaepernick, former quarterback of San Francisco 49ers. Today, I'm going to inform you on the three different point of views of the current NFL protest. I feel like this applies to everyone here because not only is it a sport that everyone loves to watch, but it's actually a very important thing that is going on in news and in society. And I feel like I am able to give this information because I have been following it ever since it started last September, when he first took a knee in week 1 of the 2016 season. So today, the 3 point of views I'm going to talk about are the point of view of the president, the point of view of the American people, and then lastly the point of view of the players themselves. Alright, and first point of view I want to talk about, like I said, is the point of view of President Trump. We all know that President Trump likes to speak his mind and doesn't really care what he says. So I don't know if any of you really heard about this, but when giving a speech about electing of a senator, I don't remember which one it was, he decided to take his speech into whole other dimension, talking about the NFL protest, and I'm not going to say the word, but he called every player that takes a knee during a national anthem a SOB, and saying that they don't deserve to be out on that field if they're not going to stand up for the flag. And then he's just continued on with this point of view. He tweets nasty things, and this one isn't bad, but that's one of his tweets. And he wants to he's wanted to boycott the NFL. He encourages all of his followers to quit watching the NFL until all these protests stop, and it's actually it actually has taken effect. The ratings for the NFL have actually dropped, I would say probably 10 to 15% compared to last year when it just started, and now that's been talked about throughout the whole year, it's actually caused the NFL to lose money and lose a lot of its viewers. Second, I want to talk about the people. So it's actually pretty divided when talking about this subject, and when I say divided, it's mostly between race. Most of the African American community believes that it's okay for them to protest because they are protesting for their rights to be an African American and free in this country, because the main reason this whole protest started was because of the treatment of African Americans with police or just in everyday culture and everything. And I would say most of Caucasian white people, they're pretty indifferent, but like I said, if you're a Trump supporter, you're going to be with Trump. And there's some people who don't support Trump but think they should stand, like most veterans actually. Most veterans, even with my personal experience, like my grandpa who's a veteran says he thinks it's disrespectful to himself that they're not standing. And and then this is a statistic from last year to now, how Republicans, being Trump supporters, they believe that they should stand for the anthem 71%, and throughout this uproar of everyone should stand, doesn't matter, it's actually gone up 13%, which I thought was actually pretty crazy. 13% in a year is a lot. And how the black percentage actually dropped 23% after they'd heard more and more about why they're kneeling and why they're doing that. And then this is just another one that shows how Trump supporters are the main reason why they're boycotting games and broadcasts, because it's mostly the overall 24%, so you gotta think not many Democrats or all the Green Party, all that stuff, they're not really paying attention, they don't really care about the NFL protests. But then the Trump supporters, Trump has really made this something it really shouldn't have been, but it's just become pretty outrageous. And now I'm going to talk about the players. And I'll talk about the man who started this all, Colin Kaepernick. He started this because he believed that he had the right to he wanted to try and change society by taking the knee and showing that he believed that this country needs to change and how people of his race need to be treated. And the people who he really wanted to see this are like the policemen or the cops that have been doing all this stuff with, you know, the shootings and all the like arrests that actually aren't even relevant, like they're not even, like they didn't do anything wrong. Like Kaepernick's taking the side where it's like he only has one vision and it's like to change everything. Then there's also a player named Malcolm Jenkins. He's a player from Philadelphia Eagles who actually, he understands why Kaepernick's doing this, but he's more of an activist. He actually has gone out into the streets with cops, and he sees what they have to go through throughout the day. And he's also gone to, he's sat down with Philadelphia's main court, like their judicial system there, and talked about how they can change the justice system and change social injustice. And like we all hear social injustice, and like there's not really ever defined. So it is a situation when some unfair practices are being carried in society, and that's what this whole thing has been about this whole time. In summary, today I talked about 3 different point of views on the NFL protest. One being President Trump's point of view, number 2, the people's point of view, and number 3, the players. And now I just have one question to ask you. If you were in a state of power, what would your point of view be on this? Thank you.
Okay, we're out of time. Don't have time for questions. You can ask him if you want to hang around, but I respect our time limit. So good job, everybody. I thought this round of speeches overall was quite strong, and I will try to get them graded as soon